gonna start now. Do you believe the first moon landing was real?
Well, do you believe black night satellite exists?
Wait guys, what about the conspiracy that there is hidden life on Mars?
Hello listeners, my name is Preeta.
My name is Shri.
And my name is Sanjana.
And like all fields of study, astronomy has a ton of conspiracy theories. And today on Astronomy Unplugged, we are going to be diving into some of them to see whether science supports each theory. The moon landing conspiracy first took root in the 1970s. It claimed that the Apollo missions were filmed on Earth rather than on the moon. Supporters often point to the flag that appeared on the ripple despite there being no air on the lunar surface. They also question why no stars are visible in the sky during the photos.
I always hear people ask about the shadows. They wonder why they go in different directions.
Exactly. The answer is simply photography and terrain. The flag looked like it was waving because it was mounted on horizontal rod and moved during placement. As for the stars, the camera exposure was set for the bright lunar surface, not the dim background, and the shadows were affected by uneven ground and the angle of the sun. It is all explainable without secret movie studios.
But it's easy to see why it caught on. At the time, space travel still felt like science fiction.
Right, and mistrust in institutions after the event of the 60s made people more likely to believe that something was being hidden. But the evidence strongly supports that landings being real. From retroflectors on the surface to photographs taken by modern lunar orbiters, still, the theory refuses to fade. Alright, Shri, time to take us to Mars.
Gladly. So the idea that NASA is hiding life on Mars goes back decades. It often begins with the Viking mission in 1976. Viking carried out the first experiment designed to detect life. One of the tests showed chemical activity that some interpret as biological. NASA said that results were ambiguous, but many claimed that NASA was covering up a discovery.
And then there are photos. People zoom in on rocks that look like fossils or animals.
Yes, those images show shapes that resemble crabs or humanoid figures, but they are examples of pareidolia, which is the human tendency to see faces or familiar forms in random patterns. There is no verified biological evidence. Every rover and lander has sent back data showing a harsh environment with radiation, cold temperatures, and thin atmosphere.
But the theory stays alive because people think NASA is too cautious.
Exactly. When scientists avoid jumping to conclusions, some assume it means they are hiding something, while planetary science moves carefully for good reason. Even so, the possibility of life, especially microbial life, remains open. That adds just enough mystery to keep the conspiracy going.
Alright, Sanjana, the final conspiracy of the episode, the Black Knight satellite.
This one is a collage of unrelated events that got stitched together over time. The story claims that an ancient alien satellite is orbiting Earth and is transmitting signals. Some versions say it has been up there for thousands of years.
Where did the idea even come from?
Several places. In the 1950s, amateur radio operators picked up strange signals that were later understood as natural radio echoes. In the 1960s, early photos from space missions showed chunks of debris. One thermal blanket that floated away during a mission became the famous image that conspiracy fans point to as the Black Knight. Over the years, these unrelated pieces were combined into one dramatic story.
So the entire conspiracy is based off misinterpreted data and images?
Exactly, but the story persists because it sounds like something off a sci-fi epic. A dark object silently orbiting Earth with unknown intentions. It captures the imagination even if there is no evidence that it exists.
So there you have it, 3 of the most enduring space conspiracies: the moon landing hoax, the hidden Martian life, and the Black Knight satellite.
What these theories show us is how powerful curiosity can be. People want there to be mysteries. They want the universe to be full of secrets.
And honestly, even when the conspiracies are not real, the real universe is already strange enough to keep us wondering.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Astronomy Unplugged. If you enjoyed this conversation, follow the show and leave a review. Until next time, keep looking up.